What an evil error and what an evil presumption, for an asthmatic as Israel was never one people or one race, so it was never chosen people. Unfaithful to the laws of creation, Israel is a mass of people with an inglorious past, characterized by murder and arson. Only a few fathers in the masses of these unfaithful have an honorable past and a traceable family tree. These, however, are not part of the brood of snakes and vipers who have pledged themselves to the false Judaic faith, to the false beliefs and false teachings they adopted from Moses, who, in turn, had stolen them from the Egyptians. These few fathers are knowers of the truth and of true knowledge, and they recognize only the laws of creation. They became rare in this land, however, and so can be counted on just one man's hand. They are only a few, and no one's eyes may recognize them, and no one's ears may hear them. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. Truly, I say to you, many prophets and righteous men have wanted to see what you see but did not see it, and to hear what you hear but did not hear it. So listen now to the hidden meaning of this parable about the sower. If someone hears the word of truth about the Spirit and the laws, and does not understand it, then the evil one comes and snatches away what is sown in their mind. That is for whom it is sown on the pathway. But for whom it is sown on the rocks, that is the one who hears the word and promptly accepts it with joy. But this person has no roots within, so that which is heard cannot take hold and grow. Rather, this one is fickle and becomes annoyed when misery and persecution arise because of the truth. But for whom it is sown among the thorns, that is the one who hears the word, but the woes of the world and the deception of material riches smother the truth and the knowledge. Thus this one brings forth no fruit. But for whom it is sown on good ground, this is the one who accepts the word and seeks and finds the truth, so as to be able to live according to the laws of truth. Thus the fruit is allowed to grow and ripen, bringing in a rich harvest. One person bears 100-fold, another 60-fold, and another 30-fold. These are the meanings of the parables, whose secrets must be deciphered by the people, in order that they learn to think and develop insights. Nevertheless, the path to wisdom and finding the truth is long, as is compliance with the laws of creation, even though these are so obvious. The weeds among the good fruit. But he put before them another parable and said, The spiritual kingdom is like a man who planted good seeds in his field. But while he slept, his enemy came and sowed weeds among the good seeds and went away. As the plantings grew and bore fruit, the weeds also appeared. Then the servants came to the sower and said, Master, did you not sow good seed in your field? Where have the weeds come from? He spoke to them. An enemy has done this. Then the servants said, Do you want us to go out and pull up the weeds? He replied, No, lest you uproot the good fruit when you pull up the weeds. Let both grow together until the harvest, and near harvest time I will tell the reapers, First gather the weeds and bind them in bundles, that they may be burned and the ashes strewn over the field, so that this oil will be nourished, but gather the good fruit and stack it for me in my barn. For behold, said Jmmanuel, both grow side by side, the weeds and the good fruit. The weeds hinder the good fruit from the growing, yet later the weeds will become compost and nourish the ground. Were it not for the weeds being made into nourishment for the soil, the good fruit could not grow, since it needs nourishment. The mustard seed. He presented the people with another parable, saying, The spiritual kingdom is like a mustard seed that a man took and sowed in his field. It is the smallest among the seeds, but when it is grown, it is bigger than all the shrubs and becomes a tree, so that the birds of the sky come and dwell in its branches. The leaven. He told the people another parable. The spiritual kingdom is like leaven, which a woman took and mixed into 3 bushels of flour until it was thoroughly leavened. Jmmanuel told the people all of this in parables, And he did not speak to them without using parables, so that what is said through the prophet would be fulfilled, who states, "He will open his mouth in parables and will proclaim what has been hidden since the beginning of the world." This was so that people might learn from it, find the truth, and recognize and follow the laws. The treasure in the field and the priceless pearl. Those who have ears, let them hear. The spiritual kingdom is like a hidden treasure in the field, which a person finds and conceals, and in his joy over the discovery he goes out and sells everything he has and buys the field. Once more, the spiritual kingdom is like a merchant who was searching for fine pearls. When he found a precious pearl, he went and sold everything he had and bought it. The fish net. Again, the spiritual kingdom is like a net that was thrown into the sea and caught all manner of fish. When it was full, the fishermen pulled it ashore, sat down and sorted the good fish into containers, but threw the useless ones away. Such is the spiritual kingdom, which rules within humans and whose king is the human being itself. Pay heed to the parables accordingly, and learn to solve their secrets, so that you learn to think and to recognize and follow the laws of creation. Have you understood all this? And they said, Yes. Then he said, Therefore, every scribe who has become a disciple of the spiritual knowledge and the spiritual kingdom is like the father of a household who retrieves from his treasure the new and the old. In Nazareth. It happened that after Jmmanuel had finished these parables, he went away from there. Arriving in his hometown of Nazareth, he taught in the synagogue. The people were appalled and they said, How did he come by such wisdom and deeds? Is he not the son of Joseph, the carpenter, whose wife became pregnant by a guardian angel? Is not his mother named Mary? Are not his brothers Judas, Joseph, Simeon and Jacob? And his sisters, are they not all with us? From where does he get all this wisdom and the power for his deeds? So they took offense at him and threatened to turn him over to the courts. But Jmmanuel spoke, Nowhere is a prophet valued less than in his own country and in his own house. This will prove true for all time, as long as humanity has little knowledge and is enslaved by the delusionary teachings of the scribes and distorters of Scripture. So it will come true in 2 times 1,000 years, when humans have become knowledgeable and thinking, and when my actual unfalsified teachings will be revealed anew. The new prophet of that distant future will not possess as much as strength and power over evil and sickness. But his knowledge will surpass mine, and his revelations about my real teachings will shake the foundations of the entire earth, for in his time the world will be inundated by my teachings, as falsified by the distorters of the Scriptures, and it will be living in false religious cults that bring death. It will be a time when wars from space begin to threaten, and many new gods will seek to rule over the earth. Truly, truly, I say to you, the new prophet will be persecuted not only by a wrong-minded people, as will happen to me, but also by the whole world and by many deluded religious cults, which will bring forth many false prophets.